Hello and welcome to episode 4 of my Minecraft survival let's play, lightly modded for a touch of spice. Last episode I started building a research base under the main inn island, only to discover the inn dragon can fly through solid rock. So we had to free the inn in the traditional manner by killing the dragon. I was a bit disappointed. I was really enjoying the idea of having a dragon flying around over my facility. But with the dragon now out of the way, I can go ahead and finish building the research station. I am trying to grow the channel, so if you find this at all enjoyable, please like and subscribe. But without any further ado, let's get into this week's time lapse. And now that construction's been completed on the research facility, let me give you a grand tour. Okay, starting from left to right, we have the coffee maker here in the corner. Doubles as a furnace if we need to cook anything. Comes complete with a timer, so you can set the controls for that there. Underneath that, we have a hidden ender chest, so you can grab whatever materials you need or stow it away as needed. We have a variety of buttons, switches, control lights covering the consoles here. Up above, we have fire control for missile launchers. Base defense at its best. We have a cartography table in the middle so that you can copy the maps on the wall behind me. Also, you can make your own maps, rescale them, whatever you need here. I will be putting extra maps in the crafter storage. Right here in the center, we have the basic instructions for the base. Welcome to the research base at the end of the universe. Here you'll find resources and information to aid in your exploration of the end dimension. And then there will be pages going over the various features available at the base. And then we have our main control console here with a variety of gauges, monitoring the different systems in the base. A few little functionality buttons here, turns on lights and stuff. This is the important one. If you walk over here and look out the overlook, you can see that we have the hangar bay, and this is the force field emitter, and the landing strip, which is currently lit up, but if you push the button, come back, you can see the force field goes down, the landing strip lights pulse and then turn out, shutting the hangar base down to access. The upside to this is that Endermen can't stand the touch of water, so if they do happen to find their way down here, they won't be able to get into the base. Over here we have a map of the island and the surrounding area. This is scaled out to maximum, so I'm going to be filling this in as time goes on. You can see where we're at in relation right here with the little green arrowhead. And again, this is all going to get filled in eventually. Right this way we have the double doors leading to the passageway we used when fighting the dragon. The obsidian pillar at the end reaches all the way up through the island, and there's a water column that'll take you up to the main level. And right up here, just take this ladder, and that gives you access to the redstone that controls the force field emitters. All of it's powered off of this calibrated skulk sensor. It also activates the alarm system whenever you turn on the force field or turn it off. And then the passageways here will take you to access ports from different parts of the base. If you continue up the ladder, it will take you to the island surface. I don't have my helmet on at the moment, so I have to be careful where I look. But that gives you an emergency exit from the command center. And then through this door right here is maintenance access if we need to get to the dispensers. Okay, so as you probably guessed by the obsidian floor here, this is where the spawn-in for the end is. As soon as you drop through the strongholds or any of the portals scattered around the outer islands, this is where it'll bring you. So this is where everything begins. And then last thing I forgot to point out is we do have a crafting table down here in the bottom corner. So all the basic tools you should need are right here. If we go down the main stairwell here, that brings you onto the hangar deck. Where to begin? Let's see. So I've got two gantries here with the sky sleds. We've got the Heart of Gold on the right and the Void Runner on the left. Both are fully functional. I'll go over the specifics of each one here in a second. They're identical actually, so I'll just probably end up showing you one. But before we get to that, let me give you the tour of the rest of the hangar bay. We'll start with the elevator here, and before I do that, I should probably put my anti-Enderman helmet on. Okay, helmet equipped. You stand in this corner. The island surface, easy access. You can see the newly created portal over here when we killed the dragon. The main portal right there in the center. We've got lots of Endermen. If you do happen to anger one, you can step back in here. They cannot reach in, and they will stand right about here and give you free access to whack at them. But moving back down, got powdered snow underneath the carpets, so you don't take any damage from coming back in. I've got a map of the main island over the top of the elevator. And I like these cool pulsing lights. I think that came out as a nice effect. Moving along over here, we have the instructions for using the sky sleds and the gantries. Multi-step, easy to read. And then I've got logbooks here. We've got lots of books and quills, so if you want to make notes or anything. Got our supply rack over here for spare parts, a few tools. Got a crafting table, stone cutter, anvil, ender chest, and a regular chest for just storing spare parts. Right here is the force field control unit. We have this console and an identical one over on the other end of the bay. If you push the button, it activates the force field, or deactivates in this case. Just like the one in the command center. But it takes it a little while to turn it off. There's a few second delay there as it collapses on itself. But then it lights up the landing strip. So anyone coming in or trying to leave using a light trick can just flop right in. Just watch the lip at the end, otherwise you might end up taking a little bit of damage. Let's see, and then right over here, hidden around the corner, is a little ladder access to the tunnels at the top. That'll take you around for any maintenance you may need to take care of. Then over here, these stairs, and there's another one on the other end. This will take you down underneath for dealing with redstone maintenance. The red line controls the pistons that lock the sky sleds in place. The yellow line controls the launch control that fires and sends it off into the void. To activate the field, we use this dispenser with wind charges. The calibrated skulk sensor here and the one up top are both set to register explosions, and the wind charge counts as an explosion when it detonates. Okay, and I think that covers most of the tour. I can't think of anything else left to show you here except the sky sleds themselves and the launch system I rigged up. So we're going to end this on getting set up for the next video. So the way this works is we have the gangplank here, and this trapdoor combined with this piston locks the sky sled in place. You cannot, if I push the launch button, you can see the piston firing, but nothing happens. Once you throw this switch though, it unlocks the docking clamps, and now when you push the button, the sled will jump off into the void. So, to get a head start on the next project, I'm going to go ahead and launch this machine, and then rapidly climb up over here. Disengage the brakes, and follow suit with this one. And the best part of this system is I have a remote control for the garage door. Okay, That's going to be it for this episode. I'll be working on the other end of this line, and I'll see you next week.